typically I'll sterilize those. So here's the sternal head and the clavicular head of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Here's the clavicle, so here's the triangle, right? See where all those holes are? That's the point. So I start here, and I'm going to come around, and I'll actually get the subclavian spot as well before I drape it. If you went to the sterile, know all the rules. I doubt there's gloves. So let me go grab some gloves. See if I can do it.
I think Dr. has to take much paper more.
What is it?
Mori.
From what show?
From
a show.
Go home.
Just
I'm gonna be so upset when we're watching this video for like much time.
Oh no! Oh my god! So do we do that or we don't do that?
Go ahead and do it.
Oh! Get it for
So you could go to class all day to learn how to do this.
Hmm.
And how to scrub your hands for 3 minutes.
Oh.
Doing that. So they do it upside down like that. So you can.
Sorry, I didn't cut.
There you go. What's that? Oh, the spin. So good luck getting these back in order again.
Take a picture of that.
So on this drape it says head up. Follow the arrow. Much more drape than you need for this guy's torso. And his head is turned, right? There's his. I don't want to mess up. Full bearer sterile technique. So in the test, you're going to identify the anatomy for both. I'm going to say here's the sternal head of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Here's the clavicular head. I'm going to go to the lateral border of the sternal head of the sternocleidomastoid muscle, clavicle. Make a triangle in the head for the point of the triangle, aiming for this ipsilateral nipple. If I were going to do a subclavian, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to find the clavicle, find the suprasternal notch, the end. I'm going to divide the clavicle into thirds. At the junction of the medial and lateral third, I'm going to inject heading towards the suprasternal notch at almost a 0 degree angle. So we'll try. And then on your test, you're going to use your ultrasound to identify the anatomy. Prepare the kit. Pretty easy. So this one has a hole through it. You could put the wires through the syringe as well. This is the 18 gauge. I like to line the bevel up with the numbers so I know where it's at. This is the J wire. It has a J. So typically you can flush these before you put it in, or you could draw back blood when you're done. The distal tip is the brown one, so I know the wire is going to come through there. Now let's see if this mannequin will give us any blood. If not, I have something to change there. Kind of right here, 30-degree angle, aiming for that. It might be. It might just not have any blood left in it. This is to squirt blood in. I don't know. Let's see if the wire. What happens is everybody draws blood out of them, and then the vessel gets empty. I'm meeting some resistance, and in real life, you wouldn't put it in if there's resistance. See, I kinked the wire there. That's bad news bears. Oh boy. So let's put this one. Pretend like I'm not getting unsterile.
A new one? Yes.
Is there more blood in that one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Oh,
This is so exciting.
So fresh.
Red
How much does that cost?
That costs $1,000.
Yeah, how much did it cost?
I think they were like $500.
Oh, we each get one?
Discount.
Like, what, can you just fill that one up?
Yeah, why can't
Can I see that one?
Oh, you can probably.
Is that vegan?
I don't. We think we have the adapter set up for that. You could probably sell them on the black market for refill them.
Use it for Halloween.
Let's go and go grab the ultrasound. Actually, I don't want to miss this.
Oh, okay. Don't touch it. Yeah.
Touch it?
Yeah.
I think you put it on Jeff's chair.
The same thing. Here's the sternum. The two heads of the sternocleidomastoid. Coming to the tip, 30-degree angle. I'm going to put my bevel up so I know where to put the going to come. There we go. And you can either put it through here, or you can take this off. Did you hear all that air suck in? I just gave him the animals. So if you use your thumb like that, it will take a while, but if you come out and pinch and push, you cover a lot more ground. And that's actually going pretty smooth. The triple line there is 15. Should be tickling his heart by now. So I'm going to come out, and keeping good control of the wire is very important. So I'm going to not lose the wire. As soon as I come out, I've always got a hand on the wire. So on this kit, this is a introducer, and if you guys all cut it and introduce it, it will leak really quickly. So let's see if we can't do it without cutting the mannequin. So now I'm dilating the skin. In real life, you would take this and you'd go right along the wire and stab in like this and maybe make an X and stab so there's room. But if everybody does that, this mannequin will run out of juice quick. I'm making a conscious effort to not lose control of the wire. If someone sucks a wire in, then they say, why are we letting sRNAs do central lines? If a physician did it, they would just be practicing medicine. So I'm still have control of it. I'm pulling it out until it comes out the brown hub. Now that I have it here, I can advance it this way. For the wire, never lose control of the wire. We haven't got into catheter depth, but this is 15, 20 centimeters. We don't want to go that far, so we'll stop at 15.
Sometimes they put a clamp on the wire.
Yeah, there's a clamp on the wire so it doesn't go in. That's a rookie move. Just don't forget. So here in this kit, it has the caps. I'm sure you guys all like dropped little Lubelok caps on it. But in real life, you don't have to put that on. You could just, I clamped it first so it doesn't suck air in, and I can see that all, well, maybe it doesn't drop back that great. That's okay. We don't need this mannequin to do it. And over here, because I'm not going to put the full 20 centimeters in, I'll stop at 15. Here's this little guy. I'm going to put that close to the skin. Put this little cap on it, doodad. Then we're going to suture it in place. I'm going to suture it so it comes off of his neck. And in this kit, it has a curved needle and some needle drivers. You may, anyone know how to sew? Saja, did you learn how to sew as an NP?
I did not take anyone up on that opportunity.
So in here, with instrument tying, and you guys will have to practice and probably watch some YouTube videos. Coming here. So I'm getting a pretty short tail because I'm going to use that on the other side. But essentially, I'm going to wrap around the instrument twice. Then I'm going to pick up the tail. Wrap around it twice. I'm trying to do it without locking it. Oh, these are cheap. Then I come, and then it's the first half of a square knot. See how it's a square knot, or first half. So I went over that time, so now I'm going to go this way. This is where the surgeons will lose their mind watching someone in anesthesia. So that's a square knot, so it actually shouldn't go down any further. And then, because you want to be extra safe, so you typically don't put your fingers in them because it's harder to get them out. But so I went one way, then I'll go the other way. I don't know which way I went. Throw a couple knots in there. Cut it with a little tail. And if all of you guys sew into this thing, then it will really leak. Yeah, you can sew the heck out of it. You could even poke that thing too. It doesn't need to have the rest of this. The same thing, get a little bite of skin. You don't have to try to aim for the hole, because that could actually cause you problems if you poke through the catheter. But you can come through it. You lose style points for poking yourself too. Then whatever cool case you were about to do, now you're gonna be in the ER taking HIV medicine. So that was instrument tying, and then hand tying. I need a little bit longer tail to do it, but there's so the same knot there, and I'm not the one to show you because I just kind of wing it. Where the surgeons are really good at just don't show any of your surgeon friends me sewing. Because they do it one-handed, where they do this thing where they get their third finger to do something I can't get it to do, but I can twist them around each other pretty good. It accomplishes the same thing, you just don't want to see it. So here you put your dressing on. In this kit, which is really kind of interesting, before you dilate, it's okay to poke the artery, it's not okay to dilate it. So if you had this needle in there and you weren't sure if you were in the artery or the vein, you could stick this thing in here, hook it up to your pressure tubing, and see if there's an arterial waveform there. That's what that one is. Questions? This is just a different one. Instead of, that's the steel needle. This one, I forget, you'll have to look at the cover to see what they call it. But it has, you could do the same thing, poke, and then thread that thing off like an IV catheter and put the wire through it. Some people have a preference for that one. Okay. Let's see if I can get this up clear. And I just simulated dilating it because I didn't want to make the mannequin leak all of its precious blood. Subclavian. I